Hey, welcome back. You probably have seen an interesting news in the last week or so regarding the race for adopting Bitcoin, at least Bitcoin mining in the U.S. during the presidential election campaign from Trump, right? I just asked the question: what implication would this bring to me as a Bitcoin investor? And would this open up doors to some other governments to do something the same? Well, let's check this out in more detail. Okay, if we look into this website and obviously appreciate the fact that there could be several hundreds, if not thousands, versions of the same news, but I do find this striking in a sense that for the first time, there is a politician and in a major nation as the United States now beginning to advocate in public around pushing Bitcoin mining in the US. Now this is actually sparking a very, very heated debate, purely the fact that that we're currently immersed in the US presidential election campaign, which runs into November when the new president will be elected. But given the fact that Trump has made this huge statement, you can see him here. I'm just going to announce a few points. He says he's announced his desire for all future Bitcoin to be mined within the US after meeting with key industry leaders. And also following the meeting, he's expressed his support for domestic mining firms on Truth Social, right? If I just move on just to read a couple more snippets. It says the US leadership in Bitcoin mining stating that the US is and should be a leader in supporting and securing Bitcoin as an alternative to the ever deflating values of sovereign backed currencies. And nonetheless, President Joe Biden support Bitcoin, adding, "We believe in what we're doing and we think Bitcoin is the right asset for American society and far beyond. We hope to have the support for any administration." So the stance is clear that there's a race going on in the White House during the presidential campaign. Trump has been rather vocal and being pro Bitcoin, trying to take the leading accolade nature of it, whereas Biden is rather silent on the matter. So I think that's the essence of this piece of news, and there's obviously a couple of controversies against setting up mining rigs or mining companies within the country and so on. So it's clear to me that this is significant, and it begs the case, regardless of who wins the U.S. presidency. It just begs the question that Bitcoin is not going to go away, right? The ETF's already been approved since January 2024. That there is now a US president election has raised Bitcoin mining in the US now as a campaign issue. So what are the implications of this? Well, it's clear that in any future political campaign, countries will have to start addressing this very same issue. Should they themselves start thinking about mining Bitcoin in their own nation states, sovereign states, whether it's during a potential political campaign or not. But the issue still remains, because clearly there is a need for this. And particularly if you then add in the point about the energy supply, in certain countries in the world, they may have masses upon masses of free energy at their disposal. If you think about it, if you plug in a Bitcoin mining rig next to, let's say, a water dam, well, you can actually generate future Bitcoins at zero cost of energy because you have the supply hooked into it. So it's a win-win political argument, I see it really. On the one hand, you're generating wealth for that nation state by generating future Bitcoins based on the fact that you have free energy supply. And in fact, if you like to stretch this out a little bit further, there is a Jan 3, it's headed by Samson Mao, and he's advocating an awful lot, and you can see in his various podcasts. He's advocating the easiest route for sovereign adoption in Bitcoin is is to actually link the need of the country to mining Bitcoin, and that's what he's advocating a lot. And I think this Bitcoin mining political debate that is endorsed by Trump is based on that initiative led by Samson Mow Jan 3 in terms of, well, if you want to get anywhere in terms of sovereign adoption of Bitcoin, you need to link it with the need of that particular country. In the case of any supply, well, there's a clear justification element there. So in summary, this is a very, very useful, it's going to be a strong issue. It's very positive for Bitcoin holders, and it's going to open up inevitably the debate for whether other nation states should follow suit and do the same, because there's clearly a need for Bitcoin and how it provides value for a particular country's prosperity. So that's enough on today's episode. Hopefully you found this news interesting.